everybody, it's Delilah and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a very highly requested one. I'm going to be sharing with you all of the baby names that are on our list that we love and might one day use. My list is ever growing, ever evolving. I've done this video twice in the past, and to compare the baby names that are on this list now to the baby names we had on our first list, they're pretty drastically different, but there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of names that we've just really clung to and still love. So there might even be a few repeats on this list. I can't remember. But if you're looking for more name ideas, I can leave those videos linked in the description box for you to go and watch as well. To give you an idea of the kind of names that we like, we really love classic vintage style names. Names that were used hundreds and hundreds of years ago, have kind of stayed around, stuck out the test of time. Names that are familiar but not super common. We don't love modern sounding names. We like something a little bit unique, but not like crazy unique, if that makes sense. Both Zach and I feel very much the same way when it comes to baby names, which is so good. We have an Eloise Rose and a Theodore Blythe, and I love their names. We both absolutely adored Eloise. Rose has been a name I've loved since I was a kid. Theodore was the only name that Zach liked, actually, so that's what we ended up naming him. And Blythe, I just love the name Blythe. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of the kind of names we like. We don't name our kids according to name meaning, although a nice name meaning is always an added bonus. We don't necessarily pick names that run in the family or name our kids after other people. Not that we're against that or anything, but we personally just didn't really want to get into that, didn't want to do it. We just wanted to pick names that we really fell in love with. So with all that being said, if that sounds like something that's kind of up your alley, I've got 9 boy names and I think 10 girl names that you might really enjoy. Currently we are pregnant with baby number 3. We do not know the gender, so we have names picked out for both gender. Currently we have a boy name that we absolutely love. We're still working on the girl name, so I'm not going to give away my top 3 choices. I'm going to keep those for myself for now, but I'm going to give you a peek into the other names on my list, and these are names like we honestly might use in the future. So we're going to start with boy names. The first one I've had on my list since Eloise, and I've never said it to anyone else just because I never wanted it to be used, but now I don't know if we'll actually end up using it, and that name is Wilder. I just love the name. It reminds me, I think there's a character off of Little House on the Prairie with a name Wilder, last name Wilder, I don't remember, but I love it. I think it's so cute. It's unique, but not like crazy unique. I always imagined using it as a middle name. And we might one day, we might still use that, but I just think that is so cute, a little Wilder. The next one I'm pretty sure has actually made it onto every single one of my name videos, and that name is Elliot. I think it's so sweet. Had Eloise not been Eloise, if Eloise had been a boy, we probably would have used the name Elliot, but because we had a girl and named her Eloise, we probably will never use the name Elliot just because it feels like the boy version of Eloise, like Elliot and Eloise are just too similar. I know I would get them confused all the time, so I don't want to name my children anything that's too similar. The next one, oh, I love this next one, but I cannot convince Zach on it, and that name is Vincent. It's just so sweet. It's timeless, it's classic. Vince is the cutest nickname. Like, oh, I would so love to name a boy Vince. Eloise, Theodore, and Vincent. Like, it just rolls off the tongue. Theodore and Vincent. Theo and Vince. It's just is so cute. But Zach he just cannot agree on it, and I've been working on him for like a year or two. This name has been on my list. If I ever manage to change his mind, we will use this name. The next one is Harrison. I don't know if this made it onto my list last time, but I think Harrison's really cute. It is a little bit more modern, and not modern, it's a classic timeless name, but it's a bit more popular now. I do think the nickname Harry is really cute as well, but Zach, he's not totally on board with it. My next name is Alexander, and again, this is more common, more commonly used, and the only reason I wouldn't pick this name is because I'm not a huge fan of the nickname Alex. And I know if we named a kid Alexander, they would always be called Alex because it's shorter, it's easier to say, it's just what would happen. I think the full name Alexander sounds really, really handsome and really cute, but Alex, I feel like I just knew too many Alexes growing up. The next name is Wells. We probably wouldn't use this as a first name, but definitely as a middle name. I feel like it's one of those names that just kind of rolls off the tongue paired with another name. Like Vincent Wells, Alexander Wells. Like it just sounds really good as a middle name. And we might still use it because I think it sounds really good. It's one of those like last name as a first name type situations. I don't know, it feels very like timeless and classic to me. The next name is Wilbur. And I haven't even brought this one up to Zach because I know he would shut it down so quickly, but I think Wilbur is so cute. And the nickname Will, of course. I mean, we're always thinking about those nicknames. As we know, if we're gonna name our child, especially a longer name, people are gonna try and shorten it. So we gotta try and make sure we pick a name that has a nice short version to go along with it. So Wilbur I think is really cute, but I know Zach would not like that one. And the last name that I have on my boy list is actually kind of a unisex name, and that name is Florence. I think it's really handsome. I don't know what we would use as a nickname for a boy. Like obviously for a girl, you probably use the name Flo, which I don't love, but I'm not super against. But the whole name Florence, I think, sounds very nice. So maybe as like as a middle name, possibly that would be something that we would choose. Zach doesn't love it, but he doesn't hate it. And I like it for both a boy and a girl. So I don't know, that's one that's definitely gonna stick around on our list. We have a harder time with boy names, so I don't have any more like good solid boy names on our list other than our top ones that I'm not gonna give away. So I couldn't quite make it to 10 boy names, but I do have 10 girl names on my list. And we're gonna start off with the name Miriam. I have always kind of loved this name. It's a biblical name. It's a vintage classic name. I just don't know how well it would go with the names that we've already chosen, like Eloise, Theodore, and Miriam. Like it doesn't sound awful, but I don't know how much I love it. The next name on my girl list is Abigail. And now this name was actually used by friends of ours, so we're definitely not going to be using this name, but I think it's very cute. Abigail, again, is another biblical name. It's another just very classic sounding name. Abby is really cute as well. Abigail paired with our last name Lepke sounds really nice as well, but again, it's just one that we can't use. This next name is actually my grandmother's name, and her name is Esther. Again, it's another biblical name. We don't choose names because they're in the Bible, but it's, I mean, kind of a perk. I just think Esther is really cute. It's timeless. I kind of like that it runs in the family because my grandma meant a lot to me growing up. She was definitely a role model for me growing up as well. So I would name my child Esther. The next name on my girl list is Antonia. I just think it sounds very pretty, very elegant. Antonia. I don't know what we would use as a shorter version. I think it's one of those names that just kind of, you have to say the full name, kind of like my name. Like you can't really shorten Delilah, you know, you just have to say the full thing. So Antonia, I feel like is kind of like that. It's one of those names that I think is really pretty, and it's made it to my list, but I don't know if I'll ever use it. This next name I think is so sweet, but Zach is not on board with this one, and that is Marigold. Goldie for short. That's kind of two names in one. So Marigold or Goldie. And you could also totally use Goldie on its own. I think that's also really cute. A little Goldie. You could just picture a curly blonde-haired girl with blue eyes called Goldie. Or Marigold. Like Marigold is just so cute. Goldie or Mary for short. I don't know. I think it's really sweet, but we probably never use it because Zach just can't get him on it. The next name is Valerie, and I've always kind of liked this name. It's one of those names that I don't think I'd actually ever use, but I do think it's very sweet, and I've always just liked the way that it sounded. The next name is Millie. I think it's so cute. Millie, but I don't know how well it would go with her last name. Like Millie Lepke. It's kind of cute, kind of maybe a little bit too much of the same sound, Millie Lepke. But Millie I think is just adorable. The next name is Annelise, and I think it's just one of those, again, really gorgeous, very feminine names, but we will never use this one because my friend Victoria, they named their daughter Charlotte Elise, and Elise just sounds very, very close to Annelise. Honestly, Elise should be on my list. I love that name as well. Victoria, you picked a good one. Elise is just, it just sounds very pretty and feminine, and I really like it. Oh, this next name I love. It's Elodie. And clearly we're never gonna use that name because we already have an Eloise, and it's basically the same thing, just with a D. Elodie, Eloise, Elodie. I didn't actually know about Elodie. Elodie. It almost sounds weird to say now that I have an Eloise, and I've been calling her Eloise for almost 4 years now. I didn't know about the name Elodie until recently, and had I known about that name when Eloise was born, it would have been a very close contender. It obviously would have been between the two names, but I think Elodie is just very, very sweet, a little bit different, very cute. The next name is Faye, and I don't know if we'd ever use this as a first name, although I think it's very cute. Like, I can just picture a little girl running around in the garden named Faye. I think it's really sweet. I feel like this would be a name that we would more so use as a middle name, because we tend to lean toward like longer first names and then one syllable middle name, like Eloise Rose, Theodora Blythe, Annelise Faye, Elodie Faye. Like, it just kind of rolls off the tongue nicely. The last two names I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce. I feel like there's multiple different ways you can pronounce them. The first one is Evelyn, either Evelyn or Evelyn. I feel like it's Eveline, but it's just so gorgeous. I think it's very, very classy, you know? Eveline, very pretty, feminine. Evelyn Lepke sounds really nice. I'm just not sure. I feel like I need to avoid any E or TH names now that we have an Eloise and a Theodore, because I would just get them mixed up so often. But Eloise and Eveline, I mean, like, that sounds so sweet together. I just know I'd get them mixed up all the time. And my last name is Rosalind, or Rosalind. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Rosalind, but I think it can also be pronounced Rosalind. I think both ways are adorable, so sweet. We will never use this name because Eloise's middle name is Rose, so we've kind of used the shorter version of it already. But Rosalind I think is really, really sweet. It's not super common. I've rarely heard this. I think one of you guys actually gave me this name idea. Rosalind Lepke, like it just sounds very pretty. Those are all the names that I'm going to share today. I'm not gonna give away too many of the names on my list, but those are some of the ones that we love. We might one day use some of them. We probably will never use, but I hope that gave you some inspiration, some ideas. Leave a comment down below. Let me know, what are your children's names, or what are some of the names that are on your list. I love hearing your ideas, and I'm always searching for new names to add to my list. So let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. If you are new here, please do subscribe. I am sharing our entire journey of this pregnancy. I'll be sharing the birth. I'll be sharing a lot of newborn content, postpartum content when this baby is born in July. I've been sharing our life here on YouTube for the last 4 years, and I'd love to have you join our little family here on YouTube. So make sure to hit subscribe, click the thumbs up button as well. That lets me know that you like these kind of videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.